What's up, guys? It's SM16, and before I say anything, I'm making it clear right now that I am all for women's rights. I definitely want the WNBA to succeed, and I think that the WNBA is a great idea in general. This is also not just a mixtape of WNBA players turning the ball over and missing layups. I will actually be talking about the WNBA and why they hate everyone and most people hate them. But I'm going to display my feelings about the WNBA and the people involved with it. And if that's too much for you, leave now. Now, what the hell makes this 30-year-old woman who gets paid $200K to miss layups on TV think that she can be a 2016 All-Star Olympic level DeMarcus Cousins? I'm genuinely confused. How do you get this delusional? In an interview with WNBA star Skylar Diggins-Smith in 2018, a reporter asked her if the WNBA could compete with the NBA. She had this to say to that.
In the WNBA, it's the most competitive league in the world.
You fucking crazy, man. You sound insane. Do you realize that? You should be medicated.
It's only 144 women that get this blessing to have the opportunity. Nobody's really retiring, and every year it comes in great talent. So it's the highest level of basketball. And if you love basketball, you love the WNBA.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
And the worst part of all of this is that she's genuinely serious. She actually believes the WNBA is more competitive than the NBA. Like, how? I mean, you need to know your place. I'm gonna take 25 seconds out of this video just to prove this absurd statement wrong. The WNBA is literally the slowest basketball I have ever seen. Like, my 3rd grade NJB games were faster and more entertaining to watch. In fact, the competition in the WNBA is so bad that Brittany freaking Griner averages 17 points per game. How do you let someone that trash even score? And if the WNBA is more athletic than the NBA, why the hell has Steph Curry dunked the ball more times himself than everyone in the entire history of the WNBA? You can't make this stuff up. So I went on a little rant on Brittany Griner, but let's talk facts, please. The WNBA loses $10 million a year, according to Adam Silver, so I don't know how the players expect bigger salaries when there's already a huge chance that the league shuts down because of lack of funding soon. If they want to make more money, they have to make their games more entertaining to watch, not just entertaining to make fun of on YouTube. I have no problem with the WNBA, but people are getting a little entitled and on my nerves. They complain about everything in life and can't be happy with making a good amount of money for literally zero work. In fact, their main complaint is money, so we're talking about the wage gap today. I completely feel like $200K for Brittany Griner is too much. There are so many other ways the NBA can waste $120 million on ungrateful people that want even more money. They literally fund 30% of the WNBA. They could spend that money to make the world a better place, not to pay people that take their paychecks and go and criticize everything about them. I know I'm generalizing the WNBA, and there are some good people in the WNBA, but the bad eggs and ungrateful and spoiled WNBA players like Brittany Griner put a bad name on all WNBA players. I feel like they should know themselves and stop being toxic and salty because they didn't work as hard as NBA players. 90% of WNBA players are not delusional and realize that their league is not as competitive as the WNBA, and therefore they know that they're not as skilled as players in the WNBA, or actually NBA. But for that 10%, then the people that agree with them, I have to say this. And even for the 90%, they would say that they work just as hard as NBA players. This is important. After all, working hard is what gets you paid. But if they worked as hard, why are they not as skilled? They would say that they didn't have the same access to gyms, courts, and coaching as men do. However, 67% of the players in the NBA come from a background of living in the lower class, compared to 19% of WNBA players. This means 81% of WNBA players came from middle-class backgrounds or above. They always had access to a court, a gym, food, water, and coaching through online technology. 81% is a controlling number, and 33% is not, which means the overwhelming majority of WNBA players had more accessible access to better services than the overwhelming majority of NBA players, meaning a lot of them had the resources to become really good basketball players, but they didn't, which means they either didn't work it hard enough to succeed or they're just less talented as basketball in general, which is not true. I believe that both genders are equal, and that means they just didn't work hard enough, and therefore they don't deserve to be paid as much as NBA players. And before we wrap this up, I want to state some facts. Viewership is a deciding factor in pay. More views, more people watching equals more sponsors flooding the place with money and bigger contracts with everyone. And the key to viewership is being able to create something that people want to take time out of their day on a regular basis to watch. And the WNBA is not at that level. I don't think anyone really wants to watch the WNBA day after day because it's a good thing to watch. They probably watch it because they know someone that's playing or something like that. And that's why basically no one watches it. So I hope everyone understands that I use only numbers in this video and gender has 0% of the role in this video. It's some people from the WNBA that don't understand what harm they're bringing upon themselves and their co-workers in the public eye. They're literally putting a bad name for everyone in the WNBA, which is not good. As always, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time on SM16.